Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another edition of Let's Talk Chelsea, the second of today, because we've got some big breaking news. Ben Chilwell is officially a Chelsea player. The transfer from Leicester City to Chelsea Football Club has been confirmed by the club. Very exciting news. One of the big free signings this week has finally been announced by the club. As we got closer to 5 p.m. today, it became pretty apparent that an announcement would be made by the club, and then it became clear it would be Ben Chilwell. Brilliant news. We've known about this. We knew how close the transfer was pretty much since last Friday when David Ornstein and Liam Toomey broke it by The Athletic. But as you can see this photo here, Ben Chilwell signing his Chelsea contract at Cobham. We knew he'd probably done his medical earlier in the week, even through his current injury, and that wasn't going to stop the deal, and the deal has been made. A 5-year contract. I'm sure the fee is pretty close to what we've been hearing in recent times. It's a big deal. I'm so happy to finally get this deal over the line. One of the big deals this week. The announcements will not be stopping this week, I'm sure, for Chelsea, in what is turning out to be a pretty ridiculous week for Chelsea Football Club, to be honest. But for me, as I said in my video recently about Ben Chilwell, when the news broke that we were very close to signing him, I felt this was my biggest priority signing this summer, to finally have a new left back. Not just any left back, but I think a left back that is going to suit what Frank Lampard wants to do with Chelsea next season. The style of play, the acceleration, the quick play, the amount of times I watched Chelsea last season. I don't know why, it's just a random thought, but I remember being at the whole FA Cup game for some reason. I don't know why that's one of the games I pick out. I'm sure you guys would pick up many, and just looking at the left side and not seeing the pace and acceleration there. And I think that's something that for me has been lacking a lot, and Frank has had to make do at times. He's had to shift to a 3-4-3 to try and get Alonso in the team as well, and to know he's going to get a player that at 23 is still growing and still getting better, and potentially signing Ben Chilwell, even if it is a little bit more than, say, a Reguilon or a Tagliafico or a Telles, all these names we've heard for a number of months. A player that could mould into this role and get better and very much become accustomed to being a Chelsea player. And we could fix that role now for the next 5 to 6 to 7 years, which I think is brilliant. And let's hope Ben Chilwell goes on to fulfill his promise, because I think he could be an exceptional player for us. And I think fullback play is something that I think is going to be massive for Frank Lampard in the future. I think Reece James in a similar way, to be honest. And to know we've got pacey players, young players, dynamic, hungry players on both sides there of our defence. And I think, of course, defensively there's still real concerns, and I think there's things for Ben Chilwell to work on, but I think he very much suits the profile of player Chelsea are going for. And just looking at some of the quotes he gave some few quotes to the Chelsea website on this announcement. He said, "I'm delighted to be joining Chelsea at this very exciting time for the club. I'm looking forward to being part of this young dynamic squad led by Frank Lampard as we challenge for honours next season. I can't wait to get started, and hopefully it won't be long before we're playing in front of Chelsea fans at Stamford Bridge." I also think this is another thing of Chelsea doing very swift business, getting this deal over the line. And as well, it's a long-term deal, long-term plan deal. I remember Simon Johnson reporting about this for The Athletic way back, I believe in December. Ben Chilwell was always the name. I remember talking about it in videos before Christmas. Ben Chilwell was always the name you heard being linked to Chelsea. It's been Frank Lampard's first choice target. It's been the first choice target quite clearly for a number of months, even all the names we've spoken about in comparison to Chilwell. And I think to be able to, for Chelsea, not just to, go in for that first choice target, but get him for a fee that I think is very decent for the rate of going left backs or just like fullbacks at the moment, and players and English players as well. And the fact that I think it's another brilliant bit of business for Chelsea to get over the line, a very important piece of business, because I think with all the concern over centre back and other areas as well, I think there was a tendency for people to maybe forget how big the need for a new left back was, and Chelsea have quite clearly known, Frank Lampard knows how big of an area it was to upgrade this season. So big to get Ben Chilwell in. Of course, he's injured at the moment, typical considering Chelsea injuries at the moment. Let's hope it isn't too long till he's back to fitness. I believe from what I'm reading it's going to be only a couple of weeks, hopefully, so he may miss the opening game of the season. But this is not just a signing for the first couple of weeks of the season. This is a signing for the next 5 to 6, 7 years. So I think that's a big investment by Chelsea. Let's hope Ben Chilwell gets back to his best form, because I think he's got it in him to be a big left back for Chelsea. Let's hope he has a really good first season for Chelsea, because I think he could be part of an exciting time under Frank Lampard at Stamford Bridge. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter at Son of Chelsea, and I'll see you again.